So here we go. Tim Robinson starring alongside Paul Rudd. We got an A24 comedy. Ricky Flex, what was your reactions? Right, I mean, when's the last time we got to see a comedy in theaters? Man, did this one hit for you?
This one did hit for me. I was laughing throughout, right? I think the expectations were blown out of proportion. Really were. It debuted at TIFF last year, got or the year before. A24 bought it for a crazy amount of money. Like these critics were saying like it's the best comedy in years. Like we this is reminds them of the old days. So the expectations were crazy high and it did not meet those lofty expectations. But holy crap, was this hilarious. This still was so funny. I was laughing out loud throughout the movie. This was almost like I think like a longer I think you should leave skit, just kind of stretched out. But there was some good filmmaking in here too with the music, with some point of view camera lens. Um, I think the script kind of was lacking a little bit, but again, like overall, not in the comedic way because the comedic timing, everything about this hit for me on a comedic way, in a comedic sense. I really did like this movie. How about you?
I liked it. I don't think I loved it, but I liked it. I don't know if I think it was 50-50 amount of times I've laughed and cringed. And I think that's exactly what they wanted, because this was definitely a comedy, but it was an unorthodox comedy. We were talking about like, will this movie help bring back the comedy? Right? Is Tim Robinson going to be like one of these next great comedic actors that we can depend on, rely on to put out movies in theaters? And I'm not convinced he is, honestly, after seeing this, because he's an acquired taste. He is an acquired taste. If you're not, I think you're not and I think you should leave fan. I don't know if you're liking this movie, honestly. But if you are a fan, you're like, this movie is genius. This is awesome. You get to watch basically the same characters that he's playing on I Think You Should Leave, the irrationally angry, socially, out of touch characters that he always plays. You're getting it for an extended period of time. But if you don't like what he does in I Think You Should Leave or you're just not aware of it, you're thrown off completely by this movie and you're like, what the fuck am I watching? It's also he is playing someone so over the top, and everyone else in the movie is like calling him out on being a weirdo. It's like not even hiding it. It's like everyone's normal and he is just a freak. Like no one's going with the joke here. He is the joke at all times. Uh I think it's hilarious, right? There was a lot of standout scenes I can't wait to talk about with you, but I think this one, like for us, we quote I Think You Should Leave all the time. People will be quoting this movie, I think. I did right after I saw it with you, right? Like the neighborhood is not a racetrack, like so much stuff. I think this is gonna be super memeable. Like it's gonna be gifts that we see in like I Think You Should Leave. You're gonna have that with friendship. I think it's like almost already a cult hit. When this movie drops on digital, like this is going to have clips all over the internet. But good, but I think an acquired taste was necessary for it.
I agree with you to a certain extent where like definitely if you're I think you should leave fan or you're a fan of this like cringe comedic character that Tim Robinson plays in the show and in this movie, then yeah, like this is for you, right? And if you don't really like that, like I'm not usually a cringe like guy liking that, but if it's funny enough, holy crap, like The Office, I laugh. I laugh. And I think Tim Robinson has that Steve Carell factor, Michael Scott, where I'm like, holy crap, like it just gets me every time. It does. And that's where like the majority of people like The Office. And I think you should leave. Like, if you found it, you usually like it, unless you're just not a big skit person. But then again, like SNL, people love watching just the YouTube clips still, maybe not watch it live anymore, but they still watch SNL, even though it's gone down, right? As pretty much everyone agrees on. But people still like the skits. So I still think this works for the majority of people. But I think you're right. Like if you are like pretty against this type of comedy, then I don't know. Then yeah, probably not for you.
It might
But
it,
again, I think the majority of people will see past that, like myself.
it might be a little too absurd, the performance for some people. It's
It
you talk about Michael Scott, but this is like Michael Scott out of 12. Like it's loud. It's a loud performance for sure. And everyone else, this movie, if you take away or you tone down that performance and you bring it down to almost like a Michael Scott level. It operates pretty much as a psychological thriller, like this movie does, you know? Um, but it's just the guy is so obviously out of touch with any social setting that it becomes, oh, this is a comedy. But all like Kate Mara in this movie, like, is not even funny at all. Like, it is not amused by her husband a little bit, I guess. She's just so clearly turned off by her husband, but her performance kind of gives off psychological thriller vibes. When she, well, I guess we can go. We'll preface this by saying we'll do spoilers here. Let's just do it. But Kate Mara, she goes down the tunnel and like looks back at Tim Robinson with like almost like I'll never see you again type of look, and like eyes like you're gonna regret this. And as she goes away, I'm like, is she thinking about like leaving him? Like, is she thinking about killing him? Like, she is taking this movie entirely too seriously. When then you have Tim Robinson eating a bar of soap, for beating up Paul Rudd's character as a form of punishment. It's like the two performances are on just different planets. You know what I'm saying?
I I really didn't understand the Kate Mara one. Like she's recently cancer free. She has the son where at first I thought it was like a stepson to Tim Robinson's character, but then it ends up being his actual son, and I was just confused with that. Um, by the way, that scene when at the very beginning of the movie when you get introduced to the son, same kid as in Shazam.
Jack Dylan Grazer.
Yeah, kisses Kate Mara on the mouth. And Tim Robinson's like, "That's not normal." I guess. That was like such a good like. This is a Tim Robinson movie. Like buckle up, and I was dying from the start. But yeah, like I that was one where I just didn't get her performance at all. And then at the end, where like he was like going out to to pick up candles or whatever, and she was like kind of saying like, "We're gonna get back together." I was like, "What? Like, I don't get this."
No, this is what I loved is that this movie, if it ended where he is like it's like basically saying that maybe they're not getting back together, but we're gonna end with them in the house being one happy family. I was like, this is not how this movie can end because this movie's too weird. You can't have like a normal ending for this movie. And I was so happy that he got in the car and then he saw that yellow convertible that you knew Paul Rudd's character wanted, and he promised the first ride to be with Craig, the Tim Robinson character, and to have that Slipknot needle drop and then him charging the car. I was like, it's about to go down. This is about to be a spectacular ending. And I was right. That ending ruled. That ending was so good. And also, it goes just good. The title of the movie, Friendship. Like, for as weird as the relationship was between the Craig character and the neighbor, played by Paul Rudd, you could argue he's a great friend for what he did at the end of the movie, what he was willing to do. Is he a good person? No. Is he a psycho? Yes. But when he has the golden gun and he's basically telling everyone to duck to make sure that he could hide that Paul Rudd's character has a toupee on, incredible. That sentence I just said was so absurd, but it was hilarious. That scene absolutely hit. I think it was my favorite scene of the movie. I love the subway trip, and we'll talk about the poison toad and all that stuff, but I think that was my favorite scene.
That was a great scene, and like Paul Rudd's Paul Rudd, I thought was great with this movie. He's like kind of the Sydney character, and I Love You
Yeah.
Man, being the cool dude instead, and like Paul Rudd in real life is a cool dude and like good looking and whatnot. So it's like, oh, he has friends. He does. He's the guy. He's not throwing up at the bro hangout, playing poker and drinking beers. He's the guy that's like leading it. Like it's a 180. But then this is where the movie is like interesting, where it's like, oh, it could just leave it at that. Paul Rudd, obviously producer or executive producer, helped get this film even made. But they went a step further, where it's like, oh, Paul Rudd has flaws. He is kind of a loser behind the scenes. He just knows how to fake it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Robinson. That's why like he's friends with Tim Robinson's character at the beginning, right? He's showing him the mushrooms, that like random rock that is like, this is like the earliest rock ever, or whatever he says. Like this is like from like the beginning of time. Like obviously not. Like he's paid like $5,000, basically got scammed. Like hilarious, and then he has a toupee. So it had some depth. Like this movie did have depth to it.
It
Which is more than just like a on the face comedy. Sorry, what you saying?
The casting of Paul Rudd, I think, is genius. Like, because you're right, he's kind of the Sidney Fife character rather than Peter Clavin in I Love You Man. Like, they flip, and you have that in your mind movie about friendship, two kind of guys that feel or yearn for a sense of like community. And like this movie,
Insecure.
yeah, Insecure. This whole movie is like trying to relate to like male loneliness as they get older, right? For dads that like stop going out and having beers and stop or just never did, after they got married. That'd be the Craig character. But I think also like having someone that was voted sexiest man alive, like having a toupee in this movie, he has a little Brian Fantana to him, right? With the news channel. They have the Marvel movie. We should go see this new Marvel movie. I heard it's nuts. Like you have a guy who's currently a massive star in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think like with the reference points the movie makes and like what they're hinting at, it's a pretty smart decision. I don't know who else they would cast if it wasn't Paul Rudd. That was I think well thought out, and I think it matched up with the jokes. But I also thought like the decisions in the movie were pretty funny. Like it's just something about the song. It's like that. Like I don't know what the song is. The late '90s song that became a TikTok sensation a couple of years ago.
My boo or whatever.
I think it's My Boo. I think that's right. But like having that as the song that these guys are singing, it's like, yeah, it's like that age group, like a late '90s song like that, and them doing a sing along a cappella. It's just hilarious because you're like, oh, for a kid off like us, we're like, oh, that's the TikTok song. For all these other people, like they grew up with that song, that are probably under this category of male loneliness or like could be the subject of this movie. I thought like just really smart decisions, funny ass movie with I think well thought out. You could tell it's like A24 by like the tone of it because it's like this movie could have been Joker. Like honestly, it kind of was Joker. Yeah, this guy is just outcast on the spectrum a little bit, maybe guy's mentally just not all there.
Desperate for friends.
And like the ending of this movie, he's holding a gun and threatening people. I'm like, this is kind of Joker.
I was waiting the entire movie, like, how are they gonna? Because like I didn't like he breaks into the house, but then like he just randomly picks up that gun. I still think that's a flaw, but I like how they freaking came back to it at the end. If they didn't come back to it, I'd have been like, oh my god, like how do we not come back to this thing?
Yeah. That it's like King of Comedy a little bit here. It's like Taxi Driver a little bit. Like it does have that. It's just the main character is insane. When he eats the soap, I was cracking up. I'm like, what? Like how
that was the one cringe moment where that was like, oh god,
that is so
I
crazy.
didn't laugh at that one.
Yeah, and everyone's just watching him eating the soap. I know what I have to do.
Yeah, and like Paul Rudd, like Johnny Sims is gonna kill me. What's the movie?
They
We came together. We came together. Like Paul Rudd has like, and that group has that like bland comedy, like straight comedy that like Tim Robinson like has, and they just mesh so well, you know. Like
Yeah.
I just think Paul Rudd's experience obviously helps in that, but I hope like Tim Robinson here, like kind of like bring it like him to the fourth step here, or like kind of the conversation. Can he like move on from this? Because this again, like I said, I think the script was pretty repetitive. This kind of just seems stretched out a bit. Like this is, I think you should leave stretched out a little bit. It is same character, just like you have some extra like nice filmmaking, I think, done with it. Like we were talking about. Can he become like the next step, like full blown, like deeper, not just this insecure, cringy comedic character? Can he be deeper than this? I don't know, but all I know is that he is a creative mother effer, and like I don't want to bet against him.
Yeah, this did not make me think or give me like confidence the comedy is going to come back. I was hoping I was going to get that feeling. A lot of it because like I don't know if I can imagine Tim Robinson to do like a lot of different comedies with a lot of different type of performances, and still be laugh out loud funny. Like he'll always be funny, but I think it's going to. I don't know if he'll do something that strays too far away from what we got in this movie, what we get, and I think you should leave. I was kind of hoping maybe we get glimpses of what else he could do, but it's just kind of, to me, he's just kind of doing the same thing. It's worked for a lot of different comedic actors, but that's when the comedy was a hit. Like we need someone that's like a bankable, like a star, and him and Nathan Fielder are like the two right now, honestly, and their comedy, it's well thought out. They have specific styles, but this movie didn't make me think the comedy's coming back. And because it's like A24 doing a comedy, it's not going to be true blue, what we were getting with like Sandler and Farrell back in the day. It's going to have its twist to it. And this one, the twist is it's a horror. It's not a horror movie. It's a comedy, but also a psychological thriller. You're watching a comedy, but the only one who knows is or acts like it's a comedy is one guy. It's
Yeah.
Tim Robinson.
Yeah, I think like where like I think you should leave. Like you have the cringe moments, like him like wearing the hot dog suit and that whole scene. Like he's the one guy that's not getting it. That's like this movie. But
Yes.
like you also have the I think you should leave skits where like everyone like buys into it, like sloppy steaks, slop them up, or like
Yeah, there's other ones where
or like
like
the Stephen Yeun one where like Stephen Yeun is the one that looks like a fool because it's like, did you wash your hands after you did your doo-doo? Like and like he somehow gets everyone else to like hate Stephen Yeun and leave his birthday party, even though he's the crazy one. You have those in I think you should leave where in this it's just all the hot dog guy. There's none of the Stephen Yeun type like skit there.
yeah. Yes. And the Kate Mara character throws it all off because she is so serious in this movie.
And then like Austin just has a wife, just random like
I
that
thought there was something more there. Honestly, I thought
weird. That was
I was like,
weird.
is he hiding his wife? Right? Does he not have a wife? Her just appearing, I thought was like this should have been brought up at some point,
That was
probably.
a poor introduction.
But favorite scenes, Subway, the Toad trip, amazing with T-Boy. That when he orders the Black Forest ham, and then he wakes up, and then he says, "What did you see?" He's like, "I ordered a sandwich," and he said he got. And then he was yelling that I got ripped off by the Toad. It was probably top 3 best scenes of the movie. It's like all these comedies, they have the acid trip, right? Like they take the drugs and something crazy happens, and the craziest thing that could happen to this guy is that he trips. Then he asks to order a sandwich from Old Paul Rudd. That's his trip.
Yeah, that was hilarious because he takes the lick and then T-Boy's like, "That's a big lick," and he goes, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" Like you might, and then ends up just like seeing an old Paul Rudd at a Subway. But then again, that shows like Tim Robinson didn't realize like, oh, like that's obviously Austin, and like that's like my friend. But it's also telling us like, oh, Paul Rudd's a loser, you know.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that was good writing, actually. So again, I think the Austin character, Paul Rudd, and the Craig character, Tim Robinson, pretty good written out characters. But like, I think everything else just like kind of like repetitive. The other supporting character is not great, or just like not written properly, and a couple other things like that. But that scene, honestly, like was hilarious. But then when you look back at it, it's like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
I do also think this character, the Tim Robinson character, he's in the running for the dumbest character of all time. Like him being a dumb person, not a dumb movie. He is probably the dumbest character in the history of movies. I would say like he makes Harry and Lloyd look like geniuses because this guy is so socially awkward, but also like humiliates himself and embarrasses himself every time he is with somebody else. Every single time. He has got to be the dumbest one of all time.
I
And his job, like, even treats him like he's special. like he's like quote unquote special. Like in terms like he might he's a charity case almost. Like that's how it feels. When he's like doing that presentation, they sit him down, and then he flips out. Then he's just at the mayor. I think he's up there, dumbest of all time.
well, I think God, what's the Paul Rudd Steve Carell movie? Dinner for Schmucks.
The dope.
That
That you
guy
saw from.
is like as in Steve Carell is just like he's dumb, unlike Craig, but
Craig is
also
like brain dead.
he's just
in
more
my
socially
opinion.
awkward and like he doesn't understand situations. Like Steve Carell is that, but also dumb.
Okay. Okay. But it's just, yeah, he knows a little bit about tech. So I'll give him that. Yeah, Craig knows a little bit about social media, and he does okay, I guess, with social media. But in everything else, he is the dumbest, like least socially aware person I've ever seen as a character. Any other scenes you want to talk about? Any other lines? Oh, like I said before, this is going to be massive in terms of memeability. I think once this hits, the Marvel movie thing was the first thing when I saw that in the trailer. I'm like, that's going to be everywhere. And when Thunderbolts came out, we tweeted the gif of saying, "I heard there's this new Marvel movie. It's heard it's going to be nuts or something like
No, I
that's
heard it's a
gonna be
new
there."
Marvel, not even a Marvel movie, a new Marvel.
Yeah, a new Marvel. Yes.
Did you expect a post-credit scene?
No.
I did because of the Marvel thing, dude.
Oh, so okay.
I was disappointed, dude. That would have been a funny ass thing.
That would have been good. That
Like
like
him either eating shawarma or like watching a horror movie and be like, that sucked, or like that wasn't that
it
nuts.
should have been him watching a Marvel movie. Yes, in prison.
Yeah, or something, you know? Like I was
Or
shocked
he's
about
like
the post credit scene after all
or
the
it's
Marvel
like
talk.
someone